Welcome back to your Mama's Wildlands. This episode is by request by someone who wanted to know a little bit more about my gas check maker for cast bullets. So today we'll cover some of that. The first thing is you will need the proper size material. I use .014 thickness aluminum. I think it's made here in Canada by Euro Max. You can go to Lowe's at their contractor's desk and have it ordered in for you. If you go to their site, you can see all the different thicknesses and widths and everything. I ordered the 6-inch wide just because it's easier to deal with. So without further delay, I'll show you the start of my process. When I bought this, it came in 50-foot rolls. I've literally done thousands and thousands of gas checks, and I still have most of the roll left. First thing I do is mark out the thickness I need, and this will have, I'll be cutting checks out of both sides. It's just faster. Little dinky sheet metal working unit from Princess Auto. And there we have my strips. Okay, these are the drawings that I got off the internet, and there's a couple ways of doing it, and it tells you how to do the calculations for the diameter of the shank, the thickness of your material. Here it gives you a list of shank diameter standard from Lee. I'm just trying to there we go. There's some more standard thicknesses. It's all in here. Some more comparisons and what bullets they're for. But anyway, I made the single stroke check maker, and again, it has everything on here that you need. As I mentioned before, some people have actually done this with nothing more than a drill press. Alright, let me cover mine. So I do have a small lathe, so I ended up threading this to fit into my Lee press, but I didn't really like the way the press worked. Plus the whole desk I have the press mounted to would literally jump up and down. So again, we have the forming die in the back there. And let's see if I can find it. There it is. And it's totally adjustable. There's the slot. I used my die grinder, or I should say my Dremel, and I found the thinnest blade I could. This is probably the trickiest part. So, spring is from Canadian Tire, just off the shelf stuff. This is the punch. Some people will say you want a slight 3-degree taper, or not taper, 3-degree angle on it so it doesn't punch the whole check at once. Whatever floats your boat. Because I tapped the top for the Lee press, I also turned a bottom of this. So anyway, I use my 1-ton Princess Auto press. As I stated before, I use the 1-ton press here. The spring goes over the cutter or the punch, and what I do with this to make it easier is I will grab some double-sided tape. Put that on top of the forming die. And what this does is just attach it nicely to the press, so every upstroke, I'm not totally dependent on the spring. Okay, so I'm just lining this up. Now the next thing I want is to make this somewhat comfortable. And away we go. Now compare that to your Pat Marlin, where you have to stop what you're doing. Certainly can't go that fast. I'd say it'd be really easy to rip off a couple thousand of these in no time at all. And depending how much care you take, okay, if you're going to sharpen these, you need a really flat surface, either a machined piece of steel, or I personally prefer to use a nice hunk of granite. So the first thing I do is I have some emery cloth here, 600. Just one in there, just punch that out. The first thing I do is I smooth out the inside. Again, you want somewhat of a smooth transition when it's being formed. If it's too abrupt, you'll just punch it twice. Alright, so that looks smooth. And then with a steady hand on your flat surface, just small circles. And that's pretty much it. Here's a close-up of the checks. You'll have to excuse my shaking. If you like what you've seen so far, hit the thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate it. Thank you.